The Lil Iguana Children's Safety Foundation was founded almost 2 decades ago in Nashua, New Hampshire by concerned parent Jim Tomaszewski. Over its existence, the foundation has been praised by national stars, created an Emmy Award-winning television series, and has even been invited to the White House 5 times. Lil Iguana has had a great history in Nashua, and Lil Iguana Now will help you connect with the local businesses that have helped and supported the Lil Iguana Foundation along the way. Welcome to Lil Iguana Now.
With all your friends.
Hi, welcome to Lil Iguana Now. Today my guest is Jim Kacavas from Mello Dodge in Nashua, New Hampshire. Welcome to the show, Jim. Thank you for coming.
Jim, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Hey, can you tell me about Mello?
Sure. Mello Dodge has been in the Nashua area for roughly 35 years.
Wow, long time.
Long time. Mr. Mello's background is he was a firefighter in Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Always dabbled in used cars, and one day he was able to pick up the new car franchise, and 35 years later, here we are.
Wow. How do you get a new car franchise? I mean, I see like Ernie Bogg and all those other people that have them forever, but how do you actually get?
Totally different now compared to back then, but back then there was a point that was opened, and I believe it was the Manzi family owned the point in Nashua, and it was available, and Mr. Mello found out about it, put his name in, got a sponsor to sponsor him, and then he was able to go through the criteria that Chrysler was looking for and was able to obtain the franchise.
Well, when I started buying cars, Lil Iguana, buying vehicles, we bought vans for, oh my goodness, we've been now 19 years, so it's been a long time, and we do appreciate the service and everything that you guys have given us. It was only Dodge way back when, or Chrysler, right?
Yeah.
Now you guys have expanded.
Yeah, we've expanded. We used to be the Dodge franchise, and 1400 Motors used to have the Chrysler Jeep franchise, and a few years back we were able to take over the Jeep and also the Chrysler franchise. So now we're Mello, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck.
Wow. Now, how did you guys get the Jeep dealership?
Well, back, Chrysler was saying as everything was going, you know, when the economy started turning and whatnot, Chrysler was saying that in order to survive as a dealership, you needed to have all nameplates under one roof. And the reason being is when you think about it, they would build a Chrysler for Chrysler Town and Country, for instance, for the Chrysler dealer, and a Dodge Grand Caravan for the Dodge dealer, which is billions of dollars.
Wow.
And what would happen is they would have to give me a van, and they would have to give Chrysler dealerships a van, and they said, wait a minute, if they're under one roof, then we don't have to make as many vans, therefore we can save some billions. And it is billions of dollars to produce vehicles.
It's amazing the industries that we have these days. Well, you know, you just don't wake up one day and become general manager. They don't just go, okay, you're going to be general manager. How long have you been selling cars?
I started in 1981 selling cars. I started in a Subaru dealership in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And in 1989, I was fortunate to be able to get a job offer with Mello, and I've been there pretty much since then.
Wow. Now, 81, let's see, I was just getting out of high school. That was my first year in college. How old were you when you started that?
21.
21?
I started at 21.
That's all right. That's not too bad.
No.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
Good. Well, you know, as I was telling you, my Lil Iguana, we've been buying the vans forever from Mello. We started with the conversion vans, which
Yes.
you had to lug the seats out, and they were 9,000 pounds, and it was awful. Nowadays, you have the stow and go,
Yes.
and which is just been an unbelievable godsend to me because I could pop them down, I could use them as storage, I could use
yes.
it, you know, pop it up and take the 7 kids, you know, or the 6 other kids to the shows that we
Yes.
have to go do. How is that sales point? You know, what is it for families?
Well,
you know,
the amazing thing is the minivan has evolved, and of course Dodge, Chrysler were the first ones to the market with the minivan. And right now, the minivan is the best van on the market. It's the best vehicle on the market if you want to move people and equipment, utility. Problem that the minivans are having is way back when we used to sell a ton of them. As the generations have progressed, there's a lot of younger people who say, I don't want to drive what Grandma used to drive. Yet they realize that once they get into it, it's not what Grandma used to drive.
Oh, absolutely. My wife, it's so funny, too, because my wife, who's, you know, a little bit younger than me, and I'm 50, she always says, I'm not going to drive the van. You know, she wants to drive my daughter's Jeep or, you know, my youngest daughter's car because she's like, I'm tired of driving the van. I look like an old lady. I'm like, you are an old lady, you know, but she hasn't got over that part. You know, when I heard about you guys got involved with the UMass hockey team.
We did.
And can you tell us about how that turned about?
Sure, that came about. I have a very good friend, and his brother-in-law has a big job down with UMass, and he approached me one day. He runs the Songus Arena. Well, it's a Songus Arena now.
Yes.
And he mentioned about possibly doing some promotions there, and I thought it was a great thing, especially, I'm from Lowell originally. Lowell has come a long way, especially under Chancellor Marty Meehan, and when we had the opportunity, I figured, okay, sports, you know, we could brand ourselves, get back down the Lowell area. And 2 years ago, we started up with UMass Lowell, and it's been great. And one of the things, too, is also college kids, when they get out of college, typically they're buying cars, and hopefully, you know, we have an opportunity to get some of that business, which, thank God, it's happened.
Yeah, well, you know, it's really good. You guys, you know, came back strong with the service and the dealership, and I'm glad that you took over as general manager. You know, as I said, we've had a lifetime with you guys, and it's been wonderful. You know, a lot of people ask me about trying to buy a van or buy a car or buy a truck, and they said that they always have a tough time with bank financing sometimes. What can you tell people about the bank financing?
You know, again, before the downturn, bank financing was anyone could get a loan, and then with the downturn, even people with great credit were having trouble getting a loan. It's coming back. The banks are lightening up. They're understanding that we've all been through a tough time. And they understand that there's good people out there that may have some things on their credit bureaus that doesn't make them not payers. It's just with what we've gone through. And they're starting to look at that and realizing that they're looking at the individual as opposed to just the credit score.
And when you buy a van, what's the difference between... We had leased some vans originally, and then we found out that we put a lot of miles on leasing, and we didn't really understand the leasing portion of it. Can you explain to people the difference between, you know, buying a vehicle and leasing? I know when you buy it, you have the equity, you have it. The leasing, you know, you run it for a few years, and then you turn it in. Better not go over the mileage because, you know.
Yeah, there's parameters on a lease, and you can build the parameters to whatever you want. Typically, the biggest difference I can say between buying and leasing is what are you going to do with the vehicle? What's your time frame? If you're thinking of keeping the vehicle long term, leasing's not really for you. If you're thinking that every 2, 3, or 4 years you want to get into a new vehicle, leasing is for you because you pay a lower payment on a lease than a purchase. But then at the end of the lease, you don't have anything per se as equity, so now, you know, you roll into a new one. So again, the biggest thing is you do have to watch your mileage, or you have to buy extra mileage up front. Now, the beauty of that, and this started a few years back, if you pay for extra mileage and you do not use it, Chrysler will give you back that money, so you don't lose it like years ago.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It is.
Well, we took a little visit down to Mello, and let's see the video clip that we ran of you guys.
Sure.
All right?
Hi, Lil Iguana. Welcome to Mello Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram truck.
The team at Mello Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is always ready to serve you. Whether you are buying your first vehicle or bringing in your car for service, you are always greeted with a smile. Mello has an extensive selection of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. If you are looking for a high-efficiency vehicle, try the Dodge Dart with 41 miles per gallon highway. Or if you are looking for a family vehicle, try the Chrysler Town & Country. While you are touring the Mello facility, feel free to entertain your children in the kids' playroom. You can watch Lil Iguana's award-winning Be Smart, Stay Safe DVD, or even catch up on the latest episode of Lil Iguana Now. Mello Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram offers an outstanding service department with knowledgeable technicians. You might even catch Lil Iguana training to be a technician one day when you bring your car in for service. If you prefer an independent service garage, Mello's foreign and domestic autos is located right across the street. So head over to Mello Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today, open a refreshing bottle of Mello water, and enjoy your car buying experience. Oh, And make sure you tell them that Lil Iguana sent you. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that was great. Thanks for having us down there. That was
Thank
a
you
lot
very
of
much.
fun. You know, everybody talks about the economy and you know, the climate of the world. Housing is up and down, you know, depending on who you talk to. I mean, you talk to a politician and everything's honky-dory. You talk to the guy on the street and everything isn't honky-dory. What are you feeling about the car industry overall? I mean, I know that a lot of the big car manufacturers, they got some bailout. They came back strong. What are your feelings about the climate in the car industry?
Well, we see, and I'm glad you brought that up, because never mind what people are saying, it's the true families, the people I see coming through the door. In times they're coming back, and they're able to afford to buy a car. The beauty being with Chrysler right now is we make the best product out there, bar nobody. I mean, you know, before people would say, oh, I'm not going to buy a domestic, I'm going to go buy an import, and now it's proven that Chrysler makes a better car than the imports. Ford makes better cars than imports. The domestics are back strong. And having the Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram truck, we can offer a vehicle to everybody. And we have been. So the business climate in the future, again, it's gradually going up, which is a good thing. It's not a mediocre rise and all of a sudden we go backwards.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah, well, I love the Chrysler. Well, actually, now I love the Chrysler even more because you guys have that warranty.
Yes.
You know, can you,
Yes.
because in the olden days, and I say the olden days, a couple years ago, you buy a vehicle, the warranty's over, you know, you're up the creek without a paddle, you're putting money into it.
Sure.
You could have bought a Friday car compared to a Monday car, which really does make a difference. I don't care what anybody says. What's the new warranty? I know I got that warranty for a lifetime. What are they offering?
Well,
now?
what you have is, with the Chrysler product, you get a 3-year, 36,000-mile factory warranty, which covers almost everything, aside from normal wear items and whatnot. Then you have the powertrain warranty, which is good for 5 years, 100,000. Now, the warranty you're talking about is the lifetime warranty that you can purchase.
Yep.
Now, the beauty of that is before, if you purchased the warranty, usually you could purchase it up to 100,000 miles. The average age of a vehicle today is 9 years old. Average mileage on that vehicle is 150, 200.
Yeah.
So if you bought the warranty back then up to 100,000 and you're still driving it, that means you're paying for repairs.
Yes.
With the lifetime warranty, you never have to worry about it. You can keep the car 10, 12 years, though I hope you don't.
Yeah, no. And we never do, as you know. I mean, we're putting on, I think, the last van that we had, we were at 98,000 miles, and we had it for 2 years, 3 months.
Right.
So, I mean, we do drive a lot, and that's why we're really excited about, you know, the warranties because, you know, in this day and age, as you know, going in for something that's not normal wear and tear, brakes or windshield wipers or, you know, you're talking just astronomical amounts of money, the parts and then service, and because you have to pay people, then you have to overhead, then you have insurance. People think, you know, people's opinion are, oh, well, they're making $1 million. They always seem to think that because you have a business, you're making a lot of money, but they don't realize the government has their hands in your pocket for unemployment, Social Security, the lights. I mean, electricity isn't going down.
Right.
And now you have to pay for water into your building, water out of your building. You know, it just gets to a point where, you know, people think, oh, they're millionaires. Everybody's a millionaire because they have a business.
What they don't understand is, guess what? To run a business, you have expenses, just like to run a household.
Sure.
You have expenses.
Yeah.
And those expenses sometimes can exceed what you're bringing in, which isn't a good thing, no matter where you're at.
You're right. I was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday when we were doing the sponsorships for our family fun day that's coming up. We were talking about, you know, sponsoring. He's like, oh, I'd really love to do it, but I have to use my credit card to get some money to make payroll this week, you know, and you think about it, and, you know, people have to understand that. Well, you know, one thing that I'd like to also talk to you about today is you guys just made a big purchase with your service, correct?
We did.
You made a big step forward, I guess you would call it, or a big commitment. What's that about?
Well, the big commitment is we took over, we bought a new facility. That's, when I say new, the facility's been there for 25 years. It was Nashville Foreign Auto.
Yeah,
it's
very
now
good.
Allen Mello Nashville Foreign Auto. It's an independent service garage, and we did make a big commitment. And the reason for that commitment is Mr. Mello and his son Allen have great prospects for the future and are really looking excited. So it adds another, what we were missing.
Really?
And yeah, what we were missing
What's
is
it give you?
well, what you're looking at with that service, the independent, and there's plenty of independents out there. Perception is that if you bring a vehicle into a dealership, a franchise dealership, you're going to pay more money
Oh, yeah.
for that.
Yes, I see that.
And,
Yeah.
you know, so now, you know, again, like I said, that's perception. In reality, if you really look at what you're getting at the franchise dealer as opposed to the independent, is you're picking up that typically on the franchise dealership, you're getting in a factory part, which comes with a lot longer warranty than what you do on the independent market. Having National Foreign Auto now, we're able to compete in that market. We're able to go get our parts, and if people want, and like with anything, it's good, better, best. So it's opened up a whole avenue for us.
Yeah, it is. People don't also understand, and I know this because I was speaking with a few of my friends about, you know, brake pads or rotors even.
Right.
You know, they're like, oh, well, Johnny, you know, sold me rotors for $47 and I brought them to a dealer and they wanted $347. And then I'm like, well, did you see the difference in the thickness of a rotor?
Right.
And they're like, oh, there's no difference. But
Right.
there absolutely is.
There's absolutely.
You know,
Like-
you guys are what, 5-star?
We're a 5-star service facility,
Yep.
and you know what that means, 5-star, because everybody says, "Oh, they just give that away." They don't give it away. First
Sure.
off, everybody in my dealership has to be certified through Chrysler, meaning we have to go through intensive training, both on the computer and out of the building. So, and again, that's a commitment on, thank God, on all our employees that are willing to do that. And also, that's a big expense, but we want to pay the expense because we want to make sure that we know what we're doing when it comes to servicing vehicles.
Sure. Now, you see a lot of times, and this isn't to put you on the spot, we didn't talk about this, but you see a lot of times there's gimmicks out there in the world. You got to get people through the door. I mean, it's just part of life. But you guys, you know, what is your overall feeling on your quality compared to your pricing, compared to, you know, other people in this region, even, you know, Massachusetts, Manchester?
Sure.
I mean, what do you feel how do you compete?
We compete in the fact that, again, being a Chrysler dealership, we now have the Chrysler, the Dodge, the Ram truck, and the Jeep. So we have the full lineup. What people don't understand is that every dealership, because it's a franchise, we all pay the same amount of money. So it doesn't matter if you have 50 dealerships or one, I pay the same amount of money as the 50 dealerships.
All right.
So we pay the same amount of money. So now most people have trade-ins. Well, the trade-in has a value, and some people may see it as greater or less, but again, being professionals, we're all going to be around the same price.
Sure.
So really what happens is service, and key is building relationships. We've been in the area 35 years. We built a ton of relationships, as with you, the relationship.
Yes, you have.
And one thing I can tell everybody, there's nobody, and I don't care what dealership you go to, that will give you a better shopping, buying experience than Allen Mello, and we care. I'm not saying the other dealerships don't care, but we care. I'm there every day.
Sure.
Mr. Mello is there every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, we take pride in our business, and that shows.
Bernie's been there for quite some time, right?
Bernie's been there for 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
Wow.
What people don't understand, most people associate with car dealers with a lot of turnover.
Sure.
We've been blessed
Oh,
in the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that we don't have a lot of turnover. Most of our employees have been there longer than 10 years, and we got some that are 20 years, 25 years, and 30 years.
I come in, I go buy a car, and I see a couple of the gentlemen there that's been there well before. I mean, I started, you know, even buying cars, and they were there quite some time. Well, you know, you guys are a big sponsor of Lil Iguana, which we thank, because without businesses like yours, we just could not survive. I mean, we don't get government money.
Sure.
We don't ask because we're one of those crazy nonprofit groups
Sure.
that if you can't succeed by your community,
Right.
then why are you taking money from a Washington
Right.
or some other area? I always say that some people aren't worthy, I guess,
Right.
or however you want to, justify it. Why did you guys get involved with Lil Iguana?
Well, we got involved with it, and I hope it's because the community gets involved with it, because you deal with the most precious commodity people have, children.
Correct.
And not
we
only
do.
do you deal with them, you're proactive about it. You're teaching them before something terrible may happen.
Yeah.
And as we know, terrible things happen every day
Sure.
to children. But if they're aware of it, then now they can take ownership of that and know what to do if they're approached by a stranger. Know what to do, you know, in a lot of different areas as far as safety and everything you do. And that's, you know, we're behind you guys for a couple reasons. Number one, the relationship we built over the years.
Yes.
They got the right person running the organization, and you do a great job with it.
Thank you.
And you do a great job of trying to get it out to the children. And I think more of the community should be supporting you.
Well, we think so too, but you know, there's only so many dollars in the nonprofit world, and you're always fighting over them. But you know, we're one of those groups that we create our own dollars. We do events. One of them you guys will be at.
Yes.
We have 2 a year, the Family Fun Days at Nashua South High School. We're expecting about 4,000 people this year. It's grown, and it's great. We have a lot of great sponsors this year coming in. Bob's Discount Furniture, you know, Polar Beverages. There'll be a lot of free handouts, a lot of food.
Sure.
You guys are going to be there doing.
We're gonna be there both representing Alan Mello and representing Foreign Auto. And with Foreign Auto, we are gonna have something that's gonna be special. It's gonna be a surprise, so you're gonna have to show up.
Yeah.
But there is
I
gonna
know
be a
about
reason.
it, and it's really a great surprise. I mean, when you told me that you were going to do that, I was floored by it. I was really excited because it gives families a great opportunity, you know, to save some money, and that I mean, in a lot of cases, it's a lot of money.
It could be.
So, so that was wonderful. Why don't we take a question from one of our viewers right now? Because we have many questions, but we'll take one for you. Okay.
Sure.
All
Okay.
right, not
Put
to
me on the spot
yeah,
again.
we don't want to
Okay.
put you on the spot, but let's take this question from a viewer. All right.
I was wondering what type of vehicle you recommend for a family of 5.
That's a great question. There's a lot of great vehicles out there, and in my opinion, I believe that the best vehicle out there is either the Dodge minivan or the Chrysler Town & Country. You fit 7 passengers. You have the stow and go option, which is unbelievable. So you can put seats down, have seats up, all different types of configurations. Have a DVD player, leather interior, air conditioning, backed by the best warranty on the market. But as far as for fitting 5 individuals and also the stuff that you need to bring, there's no better vehicle on the market.
Yeah, I tell you, I started with the Dodge Caravan, and we went to the Town & Country.
Yes.
And the Town & Country, I'll tell you, it's the Dodge Caravan and the Town & Country to me are about the same. You know, the Town & Country is just a little bit bigger interior for us, but you know, the DVD player when you got little kids.
Right.
You know, the greatest gift that they've ever made for vehicles. You put in a DVD, you start down the street, you don't hear, are we there yet? Are we there yet? We haven't even gotten out of the driveway, you know? You're sitting there going, stop asking me that. You put a DVD in, it could be a 2-hour movie. You're going on a 2-hour trip, boom, it's over, you're at your place.
Right.
You know, some of them may be sleeping, some of them still be watching the video. You know, it's the greatest thing in the world, I'll tell you. Why don't you also tell them, like, you see so many vehicles. Actually, you know, these days, you know, everything's being recalled. You've got Toyota and Honda, you know, all these people that are, you know, recalling vehicles. But on your lot, when I was driving down there, I saw some Chargers, you know, with some Hemis, some really sharp-looking cars. The trucks are beautiful. Why don't you tell me something about some of the best vehicles that you have right now?
Sure. Well, one of the things, and again, with recalls, we have them too. And you know, but the thing
I just got one the other day.
Well, the thing is on the recalls,
would you take care of it?
Some of them are really safety that you need to get in. But as far as getting back to vehicle lineups, and I'll put our vehicle lineup against anybody if we get the opportunity. But I'll go through. The Dodge just came out with the Dodge Dart, and if somebody's looking for a compact, it's considered a compact car, but really when you get in it, it's really a mid-size interior, so it fits needs. And you're talking the vehicle starts for $15,995.
Wow.
And you get up to 41 miles per gallon. So, I mean, it has a lot of nice benefits, and it's a great-looking vehicle. Really? From there, the Dodge Ram truck. Truck of the year. We got the best truck on the market. Unfortunately, we don't sell the most trucks, which amazes me being in New England, but a lot of people don't give it an opportunity. If they just compared and seen the value, because let's face it, the pricing on all these vehicles are expensive. What do you get for your money? And I can show you, my sales reps can show you the value you're getting. So if you're spending $30,000, whether it's us, Ford, Toyota, you're getting $30,000, and we're going to give you more value than anybody else. So it's an even exchange. Value dollar. You want to try and even it out as best as you can.
Well, people should bring their truck down and you can, you know, compare it,
Mo-
whether it's a Ford or a Chevy.
Most
You
definitely.
always have those people, you know, they always say Ford, found on road dead, oh, ha, 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 you know, a Chevy
Right.
deal, you know,
Right,
Dodge
right.
person. But a couple of my friends have the Dodge, and, you know, and they always joke, you know, when we're on the highway and passing a car, and he turns to me and goes, I got a Hemi. And I always joke, you know, because I'm like, oh, boy. But, you know, you have other vehicles, too. You
We
know,
do.
You have
I mean,
a lot of, for
right now,
young, old.
For young, old, we got something that matches everybody. I mean, Jeep. Jeep is the best SUV on the market.
My daughter loves Jeeps.
You got the Grand Cherokee, which, bar none, that's the best SUV, full-size SUV on the market.
Really?
Then you have the Compass, the Jeep Compass, the Jeep Patriot. I mean, we just have so many good products that you can start out at entry level and get all the way up and compare if you want. You can compete with the Mercedes and BMWs of the world.
Wow,
So
that's nice.
It is.
Well, you know, we got to wrap it up, but, you know, what I'd like you to do is, as always on our show, if I was a person sitting in my audience watching TV right now, what could you tell me that want me to get up off the couch and come down to Mello?
What I can tell you is we're a family-owned dealership. We've been in the same Nashua for 35 years. You can buy a vehicle anywhere. Our vehicles, I feel, have better value than anybody else's. So as far as the vehicles go, I can match up with anybody. It's our people, our employees. We have the best employees. And the bottom line is that's who you're dealing with. And you'll deal with the same people in and out like you've been dealing with Bernie now for 20 years.
Yep.
And one thing I can tell you is, like you said, it starts off as a business relationship. It ends up being a connection where you can come in, you're part of our family.
Well, that's great. Well, I'd like to thank our guest today, Jim Kacavas, the general manager at Mello. I urge everybody to go down and tell them Lil Iguana sent you and check them out, and hope to see you guys at our Family Fun Day. Jim, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Jim, thank you very much. A
Awesome.
pleasure.
And we'll be down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want